Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friendly DJ. My name is DJ Meow. And tonight, as we continue the Ask Elite series, we have decided to still tackle the NOC policy and change of employer, as most of our kababayans here, especially here in Doha, are still interested and confused about these topics. Of course, maraming nalilito sa atin, marami ang gustong malaman kung ano ba talaga ang mga kailangan nilang gawin, lalong-lalo na ngayon sa kasalukuyan na in-announce na ang NOC policy. Of course, with the help of PH consultant, we will further discuss the concerns and situations that many are encountering. And of course, mga kaibigan, ladies and gentlemen, of course, makakasama din natin ngayong gabi. Siyempre, ang Elite Ads team, of course, this will be represented by the CEO of Elite Groups, no other than Mr. Mohamed Elassal. Good evening. Can you give us a short intro regarding our program and, of course, regarding your company first?
Good evening, Mr. DJ. It's nice to be live with you again today to continue talking about the main problem nowadays. It's the main matter about the change sponsor, change the employer, and the NOC. No objection letter. We are ready to answer any question with our sponsors, with the support of our sponsor, Laser Salon and Village Bakery Restaurant.
And of course, we have a special guest here, Mr. Reds, the representative and the head of recruitment all the way from PH Hospitality. Good evening, Mr. Reds.
Good evening, Mr. DJ Meow. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Mr. Reds, kumusta naman po kayo? Would you like to say something to all our kababayans first before we proceed to our to your questions, rather?
Sure. Yeah, good evening to all of you. Good evening to our viewers as well. Thank you very much for having PH Consultants, especially me, for this discussion. So, I brought some questions from our based on our experience, since we are working in the recruitment company. So these are questions. I think this would be answered this evening, hopefully, so we can provide a clear picture and clear answers for those our kababayans, which are as of now they're still questioning, or they still have thoughts, or may mga tanong pa po sila regarding this no NOC policy. Hoping forward we can have a clear answer this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so bigyan na po natin ng daan yung si Mr. Red para magtanong sa ating boss, sa ating CEO, at of course sa mga nanonood, sa mga viewers natin, if you have any question, please join to Elite Ads Qatar Group. Then you can post your question there, and of course the Elite Ads Qatar Group will be answering your question. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mohammed. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, my first question would be just in case that the applicant did not inform their current employer that they will be going to transfer in another company. Is there any chance that the sponsor can cancel the QID while the transferring is under process?
Mr. Reid, thank you for your questions. It's our pleasure to answer all of that based on our experience in the same field. Actually, for that, of course, anyone needs to change the sponsor, to change the employer, and find another opportunity, since he's facing some problems with the existing employer. Immediately can proceed through Ministry of Labor or AD. He can proceed without informing his sponsor or his employer to change sponsor or to proceed with another job. In case that the employer that feel that he needs to cancel or to do anything about him, like cancellation of the ID, reporting to CID or else. In that point, if we try to do the cancellation, even manual or online, it will be rejected. The system will say an error that the applicant already have an under process application. So in case that the application is got rejected, he can do. But since the application is still under process or not yet approved, he cannot do anything, even complaining to stop the change. Some cases, the employer requested to stop the changes since he received a message that this employee is planning to change and he received the application just under process. They submit the application to cancel the under process based on their reason. Of course, this request will be rejected as the situation is still under study. In case that they rejected, yes, he can do an action. If not, and it's approved, it's another way to cancel. Yeah, of course, there's another way if he have responsibilities, if he still have any pending issues with the company, this all, they can take an action. Therefore.
Okay, Ms. J, do you have any further explanation regarding that?
To make it clear na sa mga kababayan po natin na natatakot during the sponsorship transfer, we are all aware na madami sa atin ang hindi pinapaalam sa current employer na nag-change of sponsor na tayo, and lalo na ngayon na no NOC na nga. As our CEO said, yun nga po, if the current sponsor or if the current po na application is under process, wala po talagang way na maika-cancel kayo ng sponsor ninyo. Ang mangyayari po, mare-reject siya sa system, so no possibility na mai-cancel kayo during the under process. Pero kung ang procedure po or ang meron na tayong assault, like if it is rejected, ang mangyayari is pwede silang makapag-proceed for the cancellation. But if the application is approved, ang mangyayari po is pwede silang gumawa ng other case or they can just file a certain case pero they cannot reject it anymore. Hindi na sila pwedeng mag-pursue to the other to the cancellation of the QID. So possibility po talaga yun.
Okay, ayan po at malinaw na malinaw sa tanong ni Mr. Reds. And any question, Mr. Reds? Do you have any other question, please?
Okay, so far, dun naman sa first question ko is nasagot naman siya. Because what I just want to know if there is any chance the current employer can cancel this application. Because as far as I know, the current sponsor will know. I mean, the ministry will inform them if their staff is currently processing a transferring.
Yeah.
Yes po. Sorry.
Yes, please mention.
Yes. Sir, ang mangyayari kasi, both parties, they will be receiving the notification that an application has been submitted. So during that, once the employer, the current employer and the new employer receive the notification that there's a process or there's an application, meron pong application for changing of sponsorship, yung time na po na yon na naka-receive sila ng message, ibig sabihin they cannot do any process of cancellation the QID. Mahihinto po siya mismo sa system, kahit online, kahit manual. If they are trying to cancel the QID online, they cannot proceed because magiging mare-reject po talaga siya mismo sa system. Magagawa lang nila yon hanggang sa lumabas yung resulta if it is rejected.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, nice. It's very clear, napakalinaw po. O para sa mga nanonood dyan, bago tayong patuloy, please keep on sharing this live video so that our kababayans will be able to know more about the NOC policy. Just in case hindi tayo nahihirapan sa ating mga decision sa buhay. Okay? Mr. Reds, can you continue, please?
Okay, sure. For my next question, since I've heard that there is some certain documents that is needed for application online for the transferring. So I've heard it is attested contract and current sponsor establishment card. So my question is, what will happen if we will upload a document in this ADLSA website without this documents, this attested contract and the sponsorship, I mean, a sponsor establishment card.
Mr. Reid, actually, let's go for the process from the beginning. That since I'm holding a QID, I have to sign a labor contract. This is as per the basics. The process, as you know, it's visa, QVC, making the fingerprint, signing the contract, then I can get the QID. So we will not say that anyone in Doha doesn't have a QID. Sorry, he got a QID without labor contract. Maybe they don't have copy of the labor contract, but it's already registered on the system, already registered on labor department. Of course, some few cases doesn't have labor contract, or it's old, it's expired, it's since 10 years, 15 years before there was no system. So on that cases, labor department will accept non-showing of the contract. For the computer card, it's so easy. It's just a paper. You can get it from any application you got it from the company. You can get it from any request you got it from the company. And on that case also, Labor Department is also understanding these situations, and it's enough to have the computer card number. What is the purpose of the computer card copy? To assure that you are under this sponsor. You know, as a main branch and a main company and the branches, you have the main company name XYZ. The branch also must have XYZ name. If you have 10 branches with the same name, but you are under the sponsor of 5, branch number 5. So if you show the proper computer card number and you mention on the application, and they will open the system, they will find that yes, this employee with this QID number is under this same computer card number. They will accept the application without the computer card copy. That's why they are asking the computer card copy. I can upload any computer card, any paper. Why they are verifying? What's the reason? To check the number is matching the same sponsor, the same employer. You got it? So non-showing of the computer card of the computer card is not a matter, since I know the proper computer card number, which is mandatory. And the contract, if it's not showing since it's new or I don't sign or whatever, if it's still on the system, yes, they will accept. But if it's not on the system, they will also accept, since they know that you don't have contract. So on that base, they will deal with you as an open unlimited contract, and they will do the notice period as per the unlimited contract, which is 2 weeks for the notice period.
Oh,
I think it's clear. Make it?
clear.
So, actually, sorry. Actually, sir, he's asking if it is necessary to attach the new process. From previous, we are attaching the computer card. His question is like, if what will happen if they will not attach the computer card for the new process, for the no NOC? Because right now it doesn't require, right?
It doesn't require, but I said it will be much better if we attach it. It's more supportive. In case I don't have it, so I'll explain why you need the computer card, the copy of the contract. But since they have it on the system, it's okay. It's much easy. If not, it's okay as well. So they will deal with you as the notice period is 2 weeks as per the unlimited. But if your contract is limited and you pass the 2 years, we know that okay, so they will deal with you as the more than 2 years for the 2 months or less than will be 1 month. This is the issue for the limited contract or unlimited. For the computer card, also it's clear, it's not mandatory, but it's required for more supportive documents. So they will know that you are under proper sponsor, employer.
Okay.
Okay.
The next question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mohamed Elassal. Of course, I think si Mr. Red, mayroon pa mga questions. Mr. Red, go ahead.
For my next question, sir, somehow it is related on the previous question I asked. So about this is about the current employer of the applicant. Okay, so what if just in case that they were not able to, I mean, the employer will not, they will not give any company related documents. For example, as we said, computer card is like a supporting document for this application. So just in case a case that there is no or there are no documents that they will give to the applicant, like the computer card, the contract copy, if they don't provide a copy of the contract. So is there any chance of rejection for the ministry if they have if it has any chance for rejection? What would be the possible reason?
Mr. Reed, yes, it's have a chance to be rejected with a reason. Normally, Labor Department, once they are rejecting the application, they are putting the reason why they rejected. As example, one of the application rejected because the new sponsor have a block from salary transferring.
Mm,
You will mention that this application was rejected because the new employer had a block from didn't transfer the salary of August and July. This is recently happened. They will mention that the computer card attached is not matching the same sponsor, the same employer. That's why I told you why they are asking, or it's mandatory, or it's one of the checklists to have the computer card copy or the contract copy. So they will know what is the calculation, what is the calculation for the grace period or the notice period, and to know which sponsor they are, under which company. This is most important as well. That's why. So if not showing that there or no, this document is not this much important since I provide the proper information. Since I provide the proper computer card number. You got it?
yes.
Okay, so you mean any employee cannot or they will not be able to apply for transfer without
The
this
card number.
from their previous company. Is it right?
Without the computer card number, how I
Without
know you are under which sponsor? Even the government in that labor department, you are under this company, but under which branch? The connection is there, but you have to show the computer card number. Without the
Okay.
computer card number, how you are surviving in the company?
Yeah,
Just the
exactly.
number. All the
Because
people know.
it's very important, I think, that when you are applying for another company,
Everyone else.
you should have at least the details of your previous company. Otherwise, you will not be able to proceed without all necessary documents. So, Mr. do you have
And
any further explanation, please?
Uh, as Mr. Mohammed is saying, I think I get what Mr. Red is asking. So ang tinatanong lang kasi niya is they can able to proceed. Sir, with the new law, you can proceed, pero ang sinasabi kasi ni Mr. Mohammed is that the supporting mas mabilis ang pag-approve at mas mapapadali with the labor department kung saan ka talaga naka-sponsor, kung kailan ka talaga nag-start, kasi magbe-base talaga sila sa datos kung anong meron sila. So, kung makakapagbigay si empleyado ng mga dokumentong ganito is mas magiging mas madali po ang paglipat. Yun lang ang sinasabi. Pero hindi naman siya totally talaga mandatory eh. Kung iaano natin siya sa application. Ang sinasabi lang ni Sir is that mas mapapadali ang application or ang approval if kumpleto ang mga dokumento natin.
Okay, so it's very clear guys sa mga kababayan natin napakalinaw na of course kahit saan man of course kailangan mo ng mga details. Kung gusto mo mapadali ang pag-transfer, of course you really need the details from your previous company. Otherwise magkakaroon ng delay kapag syempre maraming tanong, aalamin nila kung anong details meron yung sa company mo. Of course, pag wala ka dyan, isa yan sa mga magiging cause of delay. So thank you so much, Ms. J and Mr. Mohamed Elassal.
Yes po. Paragdagan na lang po. If parang shortcut sa atin, ini-encourage ko yung mga kababayan natin na mag-install ng Metrash 2. Okay? Ito po is thank you sa Elite Project at meron tayong way na ngayon para malaman yung mga dapat nating malaman. So, yes. I suggest po na sa mga kababayan natin na install Metrash 2, okay? Lahat ng datos mo nandun. Saang sponsor ka, kasi lahat naman na tayo obligadong mag-install due to national address eh. So, makikita mo na doon. Mag-update yun kung sino ang sponsor mo, kailan expire ang QID mo, ang passport mo. Hindi ka na malilito. Lahat ng information mo nandun. So, malaking tulong po talaga na meron tayong Metrash 2 palagi.
So, malaking tulong yon. So, para sa kaalaman, kasi maraming Miss J, there's a lot of our kababayans here na they don't know what is the importance of Metrash 2. So, at least now, na-explain mo sa kanila kung bakit kailangan i-install natin yan. Download sa ating mobile. It is application from MOI na pwede nyong install sa mobile nyo. Napakadali lang po and all details I think gaya nga ng sabi ni Miss J ay makikita nyo ron, especially yung mga details ng company nyo, kung saan kayo related and kung ano yung details pa sa inyo rin. Okay? So, okay, thank you so much Miss J and of course Reds, do you have any questions regarding our topic tonight?
Yes, of course, sir. Marami pa po.
Marami. Of course, I'm sure na maganda. So, nga pala, sorry for interrupting you, sir.
No problem.
Gusto ko lang ipaalala sa ating mga kababayan and for our all audiences, for those who would like to, kasi we are having and we are receiving now of bulk of questions from our viewers. So, just in case we would not be able to accommodate those questions, you are kindly proceed to Elite Ads Group or Elite Ads Qatar para doon nyo po i-post yung mga question nyo and of course ang mga staff and mga representative ng Elite, they are going to give you the best answer one by one. So, relax lang po kayo, wag po kayong mainip kung hindi masasagutin ngayon. As long as, syempre si Mr. Reds, meron siyang maraming question and I'm sure yung question nyo ay papasok na rin dito. Okay, Mr. Reds, go ahead please.
Okay. Okay, for my next question, this is about the Qatar ID. So just in case that the employee wants to transfer to another company and he wants to apply for online, what if his Qatar ID is already expired and the grace period of 3 months is already finished? Okay, are there any chances for it to be approved and also the penalty, who will bear the cost? Will it be the employee or the previous sponsor?
Mr. Red, regarding the expiry or the grace period expired even, it doesn't matter. It will not be affected if you are going to change the employer. doesn't have any issue or any bad conflict or something, just he will apply normally and it will be proceeded. For the penalty of the changing, actually, it would be, of course, it's a responsibility of the previous employer, but you already left and you already approved to change sponsor, change the employer. So the penalty, and it will not be this much headache for you. I mean that you already went out from your headache. So as officially, it should be not passed through the penalty. But since you already accepted to use or consume the 30 days, the 90 days without taking action, I consider it myself it's already passed. So why I have to charge them back? Plus, I am already went out from this position to the new sponsor. The new employer, he should care about this situation. You are taking the new employee with their problems and you know it, you accept it, so you have to pay. So the payment matter is not our issue now, but to whom is the responsibility if you need to claim that officially through Labor Department, okay, of course, he still have the right to claim his dues. He can mention that in his case, if he's filing a case or something against the previous employer, he can mention that the penalty is there. But the matter that jump out and take rescue and renew your ID, whatever it is, no law, official law, clearing the responsibility of the ID on the old employer or the new employer. But as we know, normally it's the responsibility of the existing employer. Since I changed it already to the new employer, so it will be the responsibility, but I cannot assume that it's here or there. The matter that I got approved for a changing sponsor, changing employer. You got it? So about the payment, it's not the matter. About the expiry dates, even it's expired, even he passed the grace period, he can still applying for changing the employer.
Yes.
Mm.
So,
Any additional
yes
Ray? Do you
po.
have any? Okay, go ahead.
Karagdagan kasi, ang nangyayari po kasi, ito nangyayari sa atin, no? Ang ibang employer kasi, pag binigyan ka na nila ng release, wala na silang pakialam if your QID is expired. Kung magkaroon ka man ng penalty or wala. Mr. Mohamed is trying to say na nakawala ka na doon. Nakalipat ka na. So, ang nangyayari po, napapasa yung responsibilidad sa'yo at sa bago mong employer. So, pwede naman mahilipat kahit expired pa yan. Pero ang tanong kasi ni Sir, sino yung magbabayad? Anong tawag dito? In reality, napapasa yung responsibility sa new employer. So, parang hindi na lang kesa magreklamo ka pa na kailangan bayaran ni previous employer yung penalty. Ano na lang, parang nasa pag-uusap nyo na lang ng current employer mo na ngayon, ng bago mong employer, if they are going to shoulder all the penalties or you're going to share it together. There's no such law na nagme-mention kasi nun Wala pong nagme-mention. So, parang gano'n na lang po, nasa reality na lang tayo nag-uusap.
So exactly, and of course, before you proceed or before you apply to a new company, you should you should inform them right immediately kung ano yung status
kung mag-a-agree po sila.
Kasi
pag
aware sila when you transfer, aware sila kung ano ang gagawin nila. Pag sinabing, okay, isettle mo muna yan, bayaran mo muna yan, then saka ka namin tatanggapin. Or else, sige, transfer ka na, kami na magbayad ng penalty mo. So, gano'n ang mga ito. So, depende sa sitwasyon.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Reds, okay ba? Nasagot ba yung question mo?
Yeah, actually po, just to add on din, kasi we somehow face these issues for yung syempre yung mga nag-a-apply po ng trabaho. When you check their QID, some of them it's already expired, and when you ask them what will happen about your penalties and these things. So, ang una talaga nilang tinatanong, pwede po ba yung new employer na lang yung mag-shoulder? So, ang advice namin sa kanila, technically, it should be your current employer. Pero, as what Miss J said, yun din yung usually namin ina-explain sa kanila. You need to settle these things first. Well, if there is no problem with your previous sponsor, then they will shoulder the payment, then it would be fine. But if you wanted to negotiate with your new employer, then we can sit about it. But usually what sometimes we face also is if the new employer is really willing to take this applicant, usually
Yeah.
they are arranging the payments and everything for the penalties, and then they'll just settle it in future once it's already finished. So that's
So there is no official law on that to say it's the responsibility of the old employer or the new employer. It's just something by sense. Yes.
mhm.
Why I'm leaving the previous sponsor, leaving employer, because I'm facing a problem with them. Of course, it will not be just the expiry of the ID. Of course, it's a lot of other things. And also, I have the right to not stay silent until my ID is expired and the grace period is expired. And after this all, I would stay just, I'm looking for help. From the first day, your ID is expired and you see the situation is bad in your company, you have to take an immediate action to avoid any penalty or avoiding to leave in Doha with an expired ID. It's really risky. So you have to take care of this situation. Always be on legal. Since you are in a legal situation, you will enjoy living in Qatar. That's right.
Okay, maraming thank you so much, Mr. Mohamed Elassal. I'm sure that everybody gets your point, and of course, as per Ms. J further explanation, at least nasabi natin sa mga kababayan natin na regarding sa pag-expire ng inyong ID, regarding sa pagbayad, kung sino ang magbabayad, kung yung previous employer mo or kung yung current employer mo. So it depends sa pag-uusap nyo yan. So ang pinaka-importante doon sa lahat, you should inform your new employer that your ID is already expired, so that they will aware before they accept you as a new staff of their company. Okay. Anyway, so I think we have a last question from Reds, and after that mag-commercial muna po tayo. So Mr. Reds, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so this question, is it possible to do a transfer if the applicant wants to transfer to a different profession from the indicated profession and his current ID? So just for example, my profession is waiter, and then I will be like to move in other positions. Will it be possible for this kind of situation?
Mr. Reds, for that situation, let's analyze first that the changing of the position. On the case I need to change my position before or after I do the transfer, I need several attachment, checklist. So for this checklist, one of them is the no objection from the current employer. Current employer, whatever it's before the transfer or after the transfer, it's the same. I mean, your existing employer. So once I'm doing the transfer, so who will give me the NOC to change, to approve my provision, my position? The new employer or the previous one? Okay, in case that I'm leaving the current employer with a bad history with them, so he will not give me NOC, he don't have the contract, he don't have my ID is expired or whatever situation, of course, so it's not possible. So the new employer, he's not yet my employer, so he will not give me. So to change the position, it doesn't have a relation with the changing the employer. So changing the employer doesn't have a relation of it changing the position. the provision on the ID. So, but some cases, which is required a certificate or a proof of your position. Like if you say I'm an engineer and I'm going to change I'm engineer on the ID and I'm engineer on the labor contract, of course. So I'm changing my employer. To change the employer, you need proof of my education certificate and you need the MME approval. If I don't have it, they will not accept to change me for the same new employer with the same position. So in that case, I need to change my position first, and then I will do the transfer. So it doesn't have relation, doesn't have a connection of it changing, and once I change, I will change the position. I hope it's clear. Jay, need to say something. Your voice is not
Put it this simple way. Iba po yung procedure ng changing of sponsorship to changing of profession. We cannot do the two procedure at the same time. So you have to choose, you have to change first or change profession first and then change of sponsor. Or mag-change muna ng sponsor and then change ng profession. Hindi sila pwedeng magsabay. Maaari lang siyang mauna if, yun nga, kailangan sa mga engineer po kasi hindi sila maililipat kung walang proper document, kung walang MME. Pero for the other position is, other position is hindi naman siya necessary or no possibility talaga. Kung mapapansin niyo po, if, for example, I am a nurse by QID and I transfer to another company na hindi naman ako nurse in position, yun na rin po kasi yung mapupunta sa QID ko. It's my choice na lang if I need to change my current position in the QID or hindi. So, para hindi po tayo ma-confuse, iba po ang proseso ng change of sponsorship at change of profession. Magkahiwalay po sila. Hindi po sila pwedeng magsabay.
Okay. So malinaw na malinaw. So yung sa paglilipat pala ng ID or yung profession mo, depende pa rin sa position. For example, yung mga engineers talagang nire-require nila yan. Maraming proseso, maraming requirements as long as, for example, kung dati kang foreman, gusto mong ma-approve as engineer, di ba? So I think medyo iba yung proseso ng application, right?
Yes po. Magkahiwalay po siya.
Magkahiwalay. So iba yung sa ID, iba yung sa totoong ina-applyan mo.
Kasi
okay.
Sabihin natin ibang window ba pag nag-a-apply ka ng trabaho, iba yung pag mag-a-apply ka ng profession mo. So hindi po siya pwedeng magsabay.
Okay. So siguro ang ibig sabihin ni Reds for example, Reds siguro for example sa katulong kung gustong lumipat ng mas anong position. Siguro yun yung isa sa mga gusto mong malaman.
Actually po sa different question ko rin po yun sana yung about sa housemaids and then they will elevate or transfer into others.
I just need to clear something about the previous question, if you need more, if you don't mind, regarding the occupation. As Ms. J just cleared for me or raised for me that I have a position of nurse and I'm going out from hospital or from clinic, wherever, I'm working on a different, I'm changing my career to a different way as secretary or whatever it is. And I'm going to a construction company as well. So on that case, I cannot change with my same position. As this position is not accepted in some companies, I would say especially the nurse, some positions like a doctor, he cannot be working on a construction company. So they will take a new automatic position which is uncategorized occupation. Till you prove your position on the new company officially, so they will change it.
Yes,
This
yes.
automatically will be changed from the system if my existing position is not matching with the new company I'm working at. I told you I'm a doctor, I'm going to work in a services company, so of course it not matches. And my change of employer is accepted, they will change automatically my position, my occupation automatically to uncategorized occupations. This is just I need to clear it. Some people who doesn't have this term, like engineers working in a hospital or else, so they will face the same issue. Maybe I add maybe someone will use.
Yes. Tama po.
Okay. Correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mohamed Elassal, and of course, Miss J, Mr. Reds. So, marami pa po tayong katanungan, marami pa po tayong tatalakayin, guys. So, of course, part 1 pa lang po ito ng question and answer natin. So, alamin ang inyong mga karapatan, alamin kung ano yung mga gagawin. Kaya, manatili lang po tayo standby and we're gonna put a break and we'll be right back after this.
I was planning to change my sponsor when I heard the no NOC policy law. Am I already covered?
I was hired last October 2019, but during the pandemic, my company have to let me go last March. Is it possible to transfer my sponsorship?
I left Qatar for vacation before the pandemic. Can I still come back even if my QID is already expired?
We don't have PRO in our company. Can our HR manager represent us in any ministries and do official transactions?
Our organization was blocked by the ministry due to WPS. What is WPS, or Wage Protection System?
I was terminated after 2 years of my service. Am I eligible to receive my end of service benefits?
My company commercial license already expired more than 3 months. When I'm going to renew by online, it's not existing in the system. What should I do?
Hello, our company have a tax card already. Do we still need to register for the RIBA?
As part of launching of Elite at Qatar, a free PRO helpline group on Facebook, I'm excited to announce the start of Ask Elite. Our team aims to help and support Qatari residents with their confusion of the current states of the government transactions. Join us in our Facebook group, Elite at Qatar, and get the opportunity to be informed and guided of your rights and processes.